Hi friends, welcome back to the Self-Worth Club. I'm your host, Zoe. Today we are diving into something deeply powerful, your intuition. It's something that we all have within us, and I think that it is so crucial to leading a fulfilling life. Now, if you are new here or it is your first time tuning in, welcome. I'm so excited to have you here. This podcast is all about exploring deep self-worth, setting healthy boundaries, and creating a life that feels truly aligned with you, and it's deeply rooted in finding that fulfillment and creating a life that feels fulfilling in all the different facets that we have. Whether you're looking for help in your relationships, your business, or just on that personal growth journey, I'm so glad that you found us today, and I can't wait for you to be a part of this conversation. To all my regular listeners, you know the drill. Grab your coffee, open your phone notes, because this is a short and sweet podcast show, right? I'm going to give you tangible, practical tips. I'm going to explain the different concepts to you and just really get straight into the nitty gritty here. Again, if you're new, I'm going to bounce a little for a second. I created this for the purpose of having short, info-packed podcast episodes because it was something that I was looking for once upon a time and could not find. Everything seemed to be like 45 minutes, an hour, filled with fluff, and my attention span's not long enough, right? I wanted something that would give me the answer, tell me a few things that I can do to practically move forward in that situation, and just give it to me straight. So that's what I do here. And we're jumping right in. So I'm going to share with you how intuition works, why it's so important, and in the end, 4 simple, super effective ways to build a deeper connection with your own inner voice, that intuition. So intuition is something that we all possess, like I already said, and you can strengthen it. You have to know that first and foremost. I feel like this is something kind of close to confidence. Sometimes people think that people are just born with confidence, that they're just confident people in general, and no, it's a learned behavior. It's a skill. And same with intuition. It's something that we all have, and it's something that sometimes we tune out or things happen and it gets muddled. So you may not really feel like you even have one, but I promise you do. information that you aren't fully aware of, which I understand can be really hard to grasp if you are someone who's a super analytical left brain thinker. Your intuition is something that it might help you pick up on a weird tension in the room, or even anticipate the ending of a story, of a movie, and hopefully that gives you just a little extra context there. So now we're getting into developing your intuition. This is an ongoing process with essentially 2 steps. One is learn to listen to yourself, and 2 is engage in regular reflection process. So if you've listened to my episode, You Are Not Your Mind, it was the very beginning of the podcast, I think it's maybe 5. You're already a step ahead in what I'm about to explain. When you listen to your inner voice, you generally hear 2 voices. And also it can come in a lot of different forms for different people, right? It could be like first person, second person. It can feel a lot of different ways. But one is fear-based, associated with racing, looping thoughts. The other is more quiet and true to your nature. And the best way to identify the difference between these is by noticing how they make you feel. Your inner voice will always calm you, even in the face of big tasks, while your fear-based voice will increase the overwhelm for you. And just a side note here, while you're practicing paying more attention to that inner voice, I really want you to know that it's important not to judge yourself for those thoughts, those automatic thoughts that pop up. It is conditioning from your past. It's usually not the truth. And this is where we have to really separate that intuitive voice from the fear-based voice, from the voice that comes from our past. So just don't judge yourself for what comes up. Adding negativity into the mix isn't going to help anything, and it's not the purpose here. I just wanted to throw that little reminder in for you. And like I said, short and sweet here. We're wrapping things up with 4 specific exercises that you can use to strengthen your intuition. One is use breathing to quiet your mind. Because your breath is always happening, it is in the present moment, it is a super powerful tool for strong connection to your present moment, to the here and now, releasing you from thoughts of your past or your future. And when you're in a present state, it's much, much, much easier to hear possible or many possible outcomes, positive outcomes. And if sitting there trying to do that is just too hard, and your analytical mind keeps like taking over and you're like going through all the different scenarios and you know what I mean. Instead, maybe try focusing on a song that you love right now, a favorite song. Focus on the lyrics of it and just let your imagination take over. Let it take you to different experiences associated with the song, feelings that it brings up, that sort of thing. And just try to, be in that moment. Number 3 is play with creative tools. So you don't have to be good at these things to play around with them, right? It can be just for you. Try doodling, coloring. You could Google creative writing prompts to play around with, or even like get a pack of affirmation cards that you could use for setting intentions each day. Lots of possibilities here. And like I said, you don't have to be an artist to, pull out a notepad and doodle or to color, but it's something that just helps you get a little creative, helps you get out of that analytical mind. And number 4 is keep a reflective journal or log. So try writing down your hunches in a journal or even in your phone notes, because that's so much easier to get to in the moment. And notice how you experience those hunches, those gut feelings. This is super beneficial if you can capture them before the analytical process takes over and just look at what that first initial gut feeling was that popped up, not the 20 minutes afterwards that you spent overthinking the thought. And this is why I was saying phone notes might be more doable because it's super easy access. You can pull it right up, make a quick, accurate note. I also use something in my phone called Memo Widget. It was like an app I downloaded and then I put it on my like home screen to my iPhone. And I use that for like quick notes or to-do lists and stuff like that. So that could be a good place to do this. Making notes about your gut feelings about a situation or a decision you have to make also means that you can check later and gauge how accurate or helpful they were, which will help you get more in tune with that intuition. Even writing down words or phrases as they come to you when considering a problem might help provide you with different insight, a different way of thinking about the problem that can be super helpful. And as an alternative, if you're feeling extra creative, you could draw pictures or doodle about it, like about the feelings that come up or the words that come up for you when you're thinking, when that gut feeling pops in. Because drawing tends to slow us down and can help us really tap into these intuitive modes of thinking. And I know that might feel super out of your comfort zone right now. Many of these could. But I want you to focus on the fun and new possibilities that it could bring to your life, because I think that's always worth a little bit of uncomfortableness, right? So as we wrap up today's episode, I want you to remember that your intuition is like a muscle. It's something that can be strengthened with intention and practice. From taking those mindful breaths that we were working on to exploring your creativity, it really is all about making space for that quiet inner voice to guide you while you learn how to trust it and gauge, what really is your intuition versus what is that fear-based mind and such, like we were talking about. And again, these practices might feel new, they might feel uncomfortable at first, but that's where you grow. And the more that you allow them into your daily life, the stronger and more reliable your intuition will become. And I really hope that you're feeling inspired to try out some of these tools and to start listening more deeply to yourself. And trust me, even if it feels quiet right now, or like I said at the beginning, you don't even have that inner voice at all, like the intuition-based one at least, you do, and you can get there. And it's such a powerful tool. Like I keep saying, I cannot recommend enough, getting more in tune with your intuition. So lastly, thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of Self-Worth Club. I really hope you found value in the tools that we explored today. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe or leave a review. It helps other people discover the show and connect with this beautiful community. Plus, it really gives me a major, major boost. Like, I actually do a little dance every time someone tags me in a story on Instagram or leaves a review or a comment. By the way, my Instagram is at Zoe Borntrager, and I'll leave it linked in the show notes for you if you want to connect with me there or tag me when you share the podcast. And remember, not only are you working on developing your intuition, you're also strengthening your relationship with yourself. That is the most important relationship you have. Until next time, keep listening to that inner voice and trust where it takes you. I will see you next week. Bye.